Listen, I ain't gonna lie, man. The game is fun. I ain't think that when I first played it, but I'm 30 years old, man. What you want from me? I was there when the first game came out. I was there before you had to beat a nigga up, before you had to beat a nigga up. You see what I'm saying? Back in my day, we just had to beat a nigga up the one time, and it was good enough. And we thanked them for the experience. I ain't thanking nobody this time. I just wanted to get the positives out the way before I tear this to shreds, son. Let's go, boy. Get in the car. Nintendo don't. You heard my Nintendo rant. If you didn't, go watch it. And I'm not linking it either. You click my profile picture, you bum. Stop being lazy. It's right there. Here's the thing. I'm a grown man. I'm not buying no Switch. So why would they take this game that I love and make it solely for that system? So we eventually ended up buying Ultimate Alliance 3, but I would not own that game today if I didn't already have the Switch for my son. That's out the question. To be honest with you, I didn't even know this game came out until back in like 2022 or 2023. I looked it up. I was like, when they gonna come out with Ultimate Alliance 3? Just to find out the daggone game been out for years. Now it feels like this game should have been promoted to me, but that's what you get when you take a game made for bigger consoles and take it down to a console usually associated with family and children stuff. And if you played the OG UA, you know that ain't seemed like no family game. We was out here smacking them fools. Macking and cracking them fools. Pause. The art style. Now I wouldn't normally call the art style of OG UA realistic. It very much existed as a grounded and not overly saturated depiction of comic book characters in various forms throughout their history. But in light of what UA3 is, I might just have to call it realistic. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is childish. When I found out Nintendo got exclusive rights to this game, I looked up the footage, saw this bullshit, shook my head and said, of course. Everybody all goofy, colors all juicy and whatnot, PJ Masks ass artwork, Spotty and his amazing friends ass game design. Everybody in the old games looked tough. It don't matter who, the women and the men, everybody looked like they'd punch me in my face and knock me out. But to be honest with you, these new niggas look like some baby back bitches. I can't say the word with these clowns, hoe ass hoes. The fighting. Anybody who played the OG UA knows that the bread and butter of this game series is repetition. It's a classic beat 'em up style game in the vein of Turtles in Time or Streets of Rage, except with a more top-down style. You're gonna run from place to place, and you're gonna punch and kick a bunch of people that look exactly the same. So there really shouldn't have been anything to get wrong in UA3. But in a change I hate almost as much as the story, they have it so when you fight a boss, you basically beat their armor up. Then once that drops, you get about 14 seconds to work on dropping their health. And you better hope your whole team is nearby when that happens, cause these niggas is slow. Once your 14 seconds are up, the armor bar fills back up and you start the whole process over. This is clearly just a way to prolong the fights, which doesn't even really make sense to me because they could have just made the health bar longer. You cut the armor aspect out and it would have been the exact same thing, except I wouldn't feel like I'm wasting my damn time. I'll admit, sometimes it's fun when everybody loses their mind trying to make it to the boss while his armor is down. But on some real shit though, how your armor come back, bro? How does armor come back? This is about the most unrealistic shit I ever seen in my life. And I saw Twilight, so that's saying something. If I could sneak a little bit of positivity in here real quick, I must say the fighting leading up to the boss fights is usually very enjoyable. It's super fast paced, and due to the story being so rushed, you don't spend too long in any location. So the location and the pool of villains you're fighting changes pretty frequently. My favorite fight section of course was the ninja part. Great shadows, and it feels like it came straight up out of nowhere. Like you entered a whole different game real quick. I could play that part all day. But back to the negativity. The special moves. Now I hate this change more than the artwork, but less than the plot. And I hate Nintendo more than I hate anything else in the world. So just always keep that in mind. Now at first when I started playing the game, I'm like, it's great that the camera is closer to the action than it was in OG UA. The special moves in the original game often look like action figures throwing temper tantrums. Now they're about the size of teenagers with attitude. No Power Rangers. I'm saying we close enough now to see what's going on. Or at least we would be able to see what's going on if the specials didn't kick off at lightning fucking speed. Everything is way too quick. In OG UA, special moves were treated like a real special moment. The action slowed down. The camera seemed to focus on the character committing the offense. UA3 seems like they're just trying to get the event over as fast as possible. What, you got better things to do? What, you got a job, nigga? Slow down a little bit. I'm trying to see what's going on. And the problem gets compounded because now we can do all our specials at the same damn time. So what should be the coolest looking event in the game ends up looking like a damn EDM concert on Adderall. I don't listen to EDM and I don't take Adderall, so I should never know what that looked like. The story. This is by far my most hated change. Besides Nintendo, of course, but that's like a life thing. That's not about this. That's like life. This game was released in 2019. So of course the game's plot centers around Thanos, punk ass. We get other characters we haven't seen in the MCU directly, of course, but we have already seen this story. And this would have been a great opportunity to get a new generation interested in non-MCU comic stories. OGUA introduced me to some comic facts, boy. See, when I was a kid, I didn't even read the comics. My only introduction to comic book characters was through the movies. Spider-Man, Blade, Spawn, X-Men. But with the superhero movie genre being so new, among other things, we usually got the same characters over and over. The original Ultimate Alliance games, though, showed me things that I wouldn't see on screen for like another decade. I found out from the first game that Dr. Doom has his own country and maybe didn't really even have lightning powers. I don't necessarily know what he does, but I do know he don't do it from a New York skyscraper. And the second game introduced me to the Superhero Registration Act, long before Civil War showed us that idea. And also, where's the extras in that movie? The whole movie is empty. It's just superheroes in places, no extra people. It's very weird. They got their extra budget out the way in the first 20 minutes of the movie. That's crazy. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. But getting back to Ultimate Alliance 3, with the entire story being set around the Infinity Stones, there is nothing new being introduced. And therefore, any person that has lived through the entire MCU has no real incentive to stick around for the plot. And for a person like me, who was sick of the MCU around the time they put out Thor 2, this plotline actually keeps me from replaying the game. I have had enough of Thanos. Now, I don't know the details of why Nintendo got the rights to this game, but I do know that this definitely hurt the reputation of the games, because it doesn't really matter how good the game was or wasn't. What really matters is that the people who played Ultimate Alliance didn't play it on Nintendo consoles. The original games carried more of a gritty style. It was more in line with something you would see on the PlayStation or Xbox. So Nintendo couldn't really take advantage of the fans of the series because the die-hard fans hate the aesthetic changes and probably don't care much for the story either, because it's more about the MCU than general comic book adaptations. And they can't really profit too much from the die-hard Nintendo fans because a good deal of them have no attachment to this series whatsoever, and the game was clearly underpromoted anyway. But I say this hurts the reputation of Ultimate Alliance, not because of the profits or sales, or even anything that the game actually offered. I say it hurts the reputation of Ultimate Alliance because it took something people loved and changed it so much that they didn't care to even try to play it. The die-hard fans of any given property are the ones that truly keep it alive. So for those who will keep Ultimate Alliance relevant for years to come, just like the last Matrix movie, the only thing they could really say is, man, this was some bullshit. I'm out.
Do my clip,